could explain to me how it got to be Wednesday already, I would very much appreciate it. Like Wednesday, and it's 4:30 already, and there's a board meeting tonight. But hello, and welcome to part 2 of the Bosnia Elegies, written by Adrian Oktenberg. You may remember, if you were here yesterday, that we had part 1 of a poem, and it described someone, a man, going back to see the house that he and his wife had lived in Sarajevo, prior to a tragedy, and then prior to later that house being shelled and bombed. And so he was talking about going back and seeing the sagging roof and parts of their furniture. And he says here, I'm just going to pick up with the ending of it. He's looking around the room and he said, in front of the window, the tiny table where I wrote, beside the window, the bed where we made love so many times, and you used to bring me coffee. Beside the window, the bed, the afternoon sun used to touch just half of it. One afternoon, we separated, only briefly, and forever came so swiftly, and that's where the first part of the poem stopped. So we pick up with that poem from the Bosnia Elegies by Adrian Oktenberg. We pick up with the second part of the story. I do need to warn you that some of the language is graphic in terms of the kind of violence that we saw in Sarajevo, Bosnia. But there's also some imagery that is so relatable to the Corona-19 virus regarding a hospital that I felt like I really wanted to share this with you. So again, the ending. One afternoon we separated only briefly, and forever came so swiftly, This is where he picks up. One afternoon, we separated only briefly. You went to the market. It was the end of August, a Monday, the first sunny day after days of rain. The main Sarajevo market was indoors then, a 16th century building, thick walls of stone. But there was a crowd at the entrance. A policeman had tried to disperse it minutes before. 2 shells came in together. 37 killed, 100 wounded in an instant. A man's body impaled on the fence. An old man, dead on the ground, his legs still wrapped around his motorcycle. Bodies fell to pieces as they were lifted into cabs. A woman ran up the steps at the hospital, her child limp in her arms, her face. You don't want to look at her face. A doctor shouted as he ran, "The world doesn't care about us." The Kosovo hospital, the best in the world after 3 years of siege. And here, overflowing despair, battle-hardened nurses wail and wave their arms. And I went there, but you had been in that crowd. They posted a list. I read your name. So after a while, I went back to our room, not knowing what else to do, where else to go. the Bosnia Elegies. I wish you a gentle Wednesday evening, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me, and I promise tomorrow we'll have a lighter poetry selection. Bye-bye now. See ya.